The scholars unanimously agree that a father may marry off his young daughter without consulting her.
Oh, that's completely wrong. If she does not say yes, that's rape. If the father forces his daughter to get married, then he's accepting for that man to rape his child. That's completely wrong. Religiously, it does not make it right.
Why are these men who are revered as scholars?
I listen.
Religion?
They are men. Do you hear something?
Where are
They are
this
men.
stuff
All
from?
these scholars are men.
But they're getting it from your Quran, though.
No.
I'm saying they're getting it from Allah.
No, but they are biased because of their misogyny. Everybody's biased.
What makes Islam true to you?
To be honest, I did have my doubts. I'm not gonna lie.
What were those?
The doubts were like some questions that we couldn't verify, like the situation with the marriage of like the kids and stuff. And those were the questions I had until like I found some people who had similar questions and found answers. So I kind of followed it and I tried to learn about the history of why those things came up. Here's the thing. The Quran doesn't say you should marry a child. It says you can only marry. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't
say you should. It says you can.
No, it says when she reaches mental maturity. It doesn't say physical maturity, which a lot of people say, oh, she hit puberty, that means she's ready for marriage.
Then why can you divorce girls that have not yet reached the age of menstruation?
The things you cannot marry until not only is she physically reached puberty, but also mentally mature. So in the Quran,
wait a minute, but Muslims can marry prepubescent girls.
They can't. But I might not agree with the tafsir because there are multiple people who do tafsir too.
Yeah, okay? So let's go we're going to go to one famous guy. His name is Ibn Kathir. You have heard of him?
I have heard of him.
All right, so he's really huge in Sunni Islam. So right.
I'm neither Sunni or Shia, so I am open to anything. I'm listening.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. So this is Ibn Kathir's tafsir, 65:4.
Okay.
So he says the iddah, which is the waiting period of those in menopause and those who do not have menses. So what's their waiting? So what's going on here? Allah the Exalted clarifies the waiting period of the woman in menopause, and that is the one whose menstruation has stopped due to her older age. Her iddah is 3 months instead of the 3 monthly cycles for those who menstruate, which is based on the ayah, Surah Baqarah, chapter 2, verse 228. Now, the same for the young who have not reached the years of menstruation. Their iddah is 3 months like those in menopause. This is the meaning of his saying, and those who have no courses, meaning they haven't had their periods yet. So the verse is talking about it's about divorce. And they're divorcing older women who are too old to menstruate. And they are also divorcing young girls who have not reached the years of menstruation.
I'm having some hard time about this verse because usually the verses that mention the marriage to begin with, this is talking about divorce. But all the verses that mention the marriage says women. So I'm not sure how they marry a woman, but she hasn't reached puberty. That doesn't make sense.
Well, the word is used as nisa. Nisa, yes, it translates to woman. However, in the Quran, the word woman, the word nisa, it doesn't tell you like if it's a mature woman or a young, girl. Like, so there's certain instances where nisa is also used for like infant female babies, for example.
But I don't think this was really disgusting. Honestly, I don't think this is the case. But I would learn about this, and this is a new topic that I haven't really dig deep into it. Like today's the first time I'm
You said it's disgusting. What you said is disgusting. Where do you think
I'm saying if it's implying marrying an infant who is just born.
I know, but let me ask you this. You said it's disgusting. I agree. Where do you think Ibn Kathir got it from?
No. Here's the thing. I'm saying if it's implying a child under
that's exactly what it's implying.
No, it's not implying.
No, I cannot believe that. Here's the thing. I cannot believe it directly. Also, here's the thing. I do not agree with a lot of big sheikhs. Like, I do not agree with them. So here's the thing.
You don't have to agree with it. This is exactly what it says. It says before the young who have not age of menstruation.
I have seen.
It's very clear.
here's the thing. It's not clear. This is what I'm trying to say. I have watched other arguments.
Before you do that, because I see a lot of. One second, I see you're kind of panicking. Let's slow down. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down. Hold on, sister, breathe. You start to try to justify, and your brain is trying to tell you to justify this because you're probably attached to Islam. If I told you that this guy likes dealing with girls before they reach the age of menstruation, what would you think?
As a normal person, you'd think that's weird.
Good.
Why?
Because nobody should be with people who are under the age of puberty. Forget that. Under the age of
Thank you. So what is under the age of puberty?
Here's the thing, my guy. Okay, here's the thing.
Now it's disgusting because he said he likes dealing with girls under the age of menstruation. You said it's disgusting.
Okay, who said that?
Agree.
Who said that?
No, he's just
You.
He just look. He just
No. I'm saying anybody who says they're dealing with that people under that age would be disgusting. Yeah,
I agree. Now, why?
because easy. Like, you can tell anybody shouldn't do that. Like, why does that have to have a reason?
Because someone under the age of menstruation is what?
Is an underage.
They're a child, right?
Thank you. A child, a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're acting like you don't know what Ibn Kathir is saying when you just explained to us how you know what Ibn Kathir is saying.
The menstrual doesn't mean a child. It means girls or women who stop getting their periods or who have late period. As we know, some women don't get their period until the age of 20 or 25.
Yeah, but there
are cases that happens.
That's true. That's
so
a rare.
We cannot automatically imply it means a child when there are cases like that.
All right, so let me say that I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But that's a rare anomaly, right? That's a rare anomaly, and that's not what they're talking about because they actually.
But if that wasn't mentioned, then what would happen to those girls?
Here's the thing.
This mentioned.
Is my mic low or something?
Go ahead. No, it isn't.
Okay, I'm trying to help you. Like those type of girls who have that medical condition, they would be included into this category of girls who have not menstruated. So that would include the girls who have a medical issue, but also includes the children as well, the young girls. Okay? The tafsirs, the scholars, all of them are very explicit on this. That it's not even talking about medical issues, but some might include that. But they all agree that it's always talking about who have not reached the years of menstruation. They're not old enough, So they're all look.
Oh yeah. Here's the thing. I am not gonna agree with Ibn Kathir. That's it. I'm not because I need to. I'm not gonna agree with Ibn Kathir. Period.
That's fine.
Yeah, I don't agree with Ibn Kathir.
So let me show you another one. That's fine. And you can take what you want and look at this later, but I'm gonna show you that they all say this. So this is Jalalain now. Okay, the verse, and those of your women no longer expect to menstruate. If you have any doubts about their waiting period, their prescribed period shall be 3 months. And also for those who have not yet menstruated. Why? Because of their young age. Their period shall be 3 months. Both cases apply to other than those whose spouses have died. For these latter, their period is prescribed in the verse, and so on and so forth. So that's Jalalain. So Ibn Kathir, Jalalain, they agree. Ibn Kathir quotes other scholars as well. So not going with Ibn Kathir, let's go with others. So it says, this has been reported from Sa'id bin Jubair, and it is the view preferred by Ibn Jarir. So these are other scholars. Now this is Ibn Jarir and Sa'id bin Jubair. What's their view? So it says, and this is the more obvious meaning. So they say this is obvious. Supporting this view is what is reported from Ubay bin Ibn Ka'b, one of the companions of Muhammad, right? He's a very important one. He's actually one of the ones you're supposed to learn the Quran from. He says that he said, O Allah's messenger, some women were not mentioned in the Quran. The young, the old, and the pregnant. So what are the three categories? Young girls, old women who pass menstruation, and then pregnant women. Allah the Exalted and Most Honored sent down this ayah, right? The one we just read. So they all agree that it's talking about three categories of nisa, of women. Young girls who haven't menstruated yet, old ones who are past menstruation, and also pregnant women. Okay. So you can take what you want with this, just take this information. You ain't got to make any decisions, but at the same time, we want you to be honest with the information you receive. Is that fair to ask?
I understand where you're coming from, but I have literally never come, like, I never come under, like, in translation this way. And I need to learn this. I am not going to say the Quran is wrong, okay? And I'm not going to say I know all the tafsir because I'm, of course, not educated enough. But here's the thing. There is no way it means a child. That's all I'm going to say. What other arguments do you guys have other than this? Because I'm trying to collect all the questions.
Wait, before this, because this is huge. So I know that you're not going to come to a decision yet, but I just want to ask one last question on this. So in your research, because this should bother you, like you shouldn't be able to.
It is bothering me. It is bothering me.
So you shouldn't be able to sleep until you fully research and come to a decision, really. But here's my question. If you were, in your searches and you actually looked into this yourself and you found that this was actually the case, that, all the tafsir are saying this and that this was permissible in Islam and the Quran is saying that you can marry and divorce little girls before puberty, would the Quran be wrong?
I will not say, I don't want to speak on, like, I don't want to be condemning the Quran the way you're trying to make me right now. I am going to learn it and then see if it's actually true the way you're saying it.
Yeah.
That's my argument.
That's
so I'm not doing any condemning right now. Yeah. I'm
not saying to do any condemning because you've already condemned having relations with little girls. You already condemned it. You said that that's disgusting. So I'm asking if you found out that it was true that the Quran taught that, would you then condemn the Quran?
I know the Quran wouldn't have taught that. That's what I'm saying.
I know, but you actually don't know this right now. So
so I need to learn it and see how I believe in my sort of way, because you're using mainstream Islam, okay, and I'm not really mainstream Islamic, so that's where we're kind of having a problem. If I was a mainstream Islamic, I would 100% agree with you right now. You would have won, honestly. Because it's so easy, like, to convince them with anything.
Okay.
And those of your women as have passed the age of monthly courses, for them, the Iddah prescribed period, if you have doubt about their periods, is 3 months. And for those who have no courses, i.e. they are still immature, their Iddah prescribed period is 3 months likewise. Then it says, he said, the same applies to the Iddah for girls who do not menstruate because they are too young if their husbands divorce them after consummating the marriage with them.
Here's the thing. Okay, let's I think some culture also plays into this. Okay, these are I can't say I'm 100% sure, but as we know, in a lot of cultures to this day, they usually marry off young kids together, but they don't really go into the same house or anything, but they just become engaged religiously. And then by the time both kids hit puberty, they go and move in together and stuff. We cannot know it directly means an old man marrying a child by this verse.
Okay, so there's a guy by the name of Ibn Abd al-Barr. The scholars unanimously agree that a father may marry off his young daughter without consulting her.
Oh, that's completely wrong. Like, if a girl cannot get married if she does not say yes. If she does not say yes, that's rape. If the father forces his daughter to get married, then he's accepting for that man to rape his child. That's completely wrong. If the girl does not say yes.
This stuff.
I don't care what the guy says, but I'm saying religiously, it does not make it right. Even the Prophet said, even though.
But then you gotta ask yourself why. Well, I don't know, why are these men who are revered as scholars?
I listen. Religion? They are men. Do you hear something? They are men. All these scholars are men. That's why I have fight with most of them.
But they're getting it from your Quran, though.
No.
I'm saying they're getting it from Allah.
No, Muhammad. But they are biased because of their misogyny. Everybody's biased with their misogyny. We cannot say every religion has misogyny, and a lot of their leaders are also biased. We cannot disagree with that. So I don't have problems.
Okay, so you get to make up. Let me ask you this. Wait. One second. Let me ask you this. It sounds like you just want to find somebody who says, no, that's not true, and then you want to believe it so you can just run off and do your own thing.
Here's the thing.
Is that the truth? How are you going to see the overwhelming? When you see the overwhelming load of scholars that are saying that this is true, then what are you going to do? Are you just going to tell them they don't know what they're talking about?
Really popular. Can I give you a little history that's really not really?
Not really. Popular? I want you to not really, not right now. I want you to talk. I want you to stay focused on what we're talking about here.
Go ahead.
What I'm saying here is this: how are you going to find the truth of your book if the mass majority, if not all, the ones that are respected and understand what it is that your book is saying, agree that this is the case? What are you going to do?
Sorry, ask again.
How are you going to find the truth?
Okay.
If all you're going to do is just reject
no.
what the mass majority of your scholars are saying.
Sorry. There are scholars that agree with my opinions. I'm not just following the air.
I never said that that's not the case. But what I'm saying is that there's always going to be something that's going to disagree with your opinion. There are Quran-only Muslims who know the Quran front and back that are going to disagree with this up and down. There's guys like Rashid Khalifa who go at all these tafsir writers, but he's a Quran only. He doesn't accept hadith. He doesn't accept anything that anybody says about the Quran unless he made it up, unless he says so. So are you going to create your own religion? No. Are you going to go with your scriptures, or are you going to actually try to figure out what your religion teaches? Because it's a problem, but you're running from it.
Listen, I'm not saying I'm making my own religion. Okay, I was just saying I'm not making the comments are saying she's following makeup Islam, whatever. I'm saying in general, me as a person, out of the religion as well, I don't believe that we should be boxed into a box. Like for me, how do I say this?
It's not about being boxed into a box. It's about understanding what it is that your book is saying.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm told you that I'm relearning. I can't even say it anymore.
You relearning, man. Relearning, man.
I know. Okay, I can't say it.
Relearning.
Okay, so thank you. Relearning. Okay.
So that's what happened when you try to justify the Quran. They get you it get you all riled up like that.
Yeah. No, it's not a problem. It's just I'm new to these things, and I'm I have social anxiety, but I'm trying to get used to it through these TikTok lives and stuff. So what was I saying? Yeah, here's what I was saying. In general, I'm learning so much new information that's too much for me right now, and it's really nothing like how I grew up. Okay, so that's why I'm open to all the questions, to all the people who believe in contradictions. I'm just because I can't give you answers. I'm telling you, I don't know, but I do want the questions, and then I would write it down.
Yeah, but I'm asking you, how will you? I know you've told us you don't know. I'm now asking you, how will you eventually know? What helps you know?
What helps me know? I try to find the least biased scholars.
What does that mean? I'm confused. How do you know Ibn Kathir and Al-Tabari are biased?
Listen, I really can't say anything. I don't know how to describe this.
Just say
I really didn't study tafsir as you guys know. It's interesting how you guys learn Islam more than me. Okay, and then what's funny is
that's because they're not going to teach you this. That's why
the thing is, they do tell you to learn, but they tell you learn this way, and then they tell you no, learn this way. The thing for me is I'm learning all the ways and seeing which one makes the most sense and following that. That's how I'm doing.
Yeah, but that's not how religion works. It's not whatever makes the most sense. I'm gonna go.
Okay, how do you?
Let's be real. You're trying to confirm my sister. You're looking for answers or responses that confirm your own bias. That's what you're looking for. You have your preconceived notions on Islam and the Quran, and you want to find people that line up with what you feel Islam is or should be, or what the Quran says.
But isn't that everybody though?
No.
Isn't that everybody with every religion?
No,
not at all.
It is.
It's not how religion works.
Trust me, it is. Trust me, it is.
Not how religion works.
Look, this is what I'm saying, sister. You need to, when you come across truth, even if it's hard and, goes against what you already believe, you gotta submit to the truth regardless. That's what we're saying. Here's
the thing. Okay, I am thankful for this question. I will look it up. This is gonna be my, let's say, assignments for whatever. What other questions do you guys have?
Okay.
Because I really all I'm here for is not to prove anything you guys are saying. It's not saying you guys are wrong or you guys are right, or saying I'm wrong or I'm right. I just want to know the questions. That's all.
If you had a daughter, would you be okay with the husband being able to beat her if he feared disobedience?
Of course not.
Okay. Can you read verse 434 for me?
I know the verse you're talking about. Like, I don't even need to look it up. But here's the thing. Arabic has a lot of words that have double meanings. Okay. No. Here's the thing. I do speak Arabic, but my Arabic isn't as good because Arabic has this fushha thing.
It ain't nothing we could tell you.
No. Here's the thing. The same word that people use beating for, comes in the Quran multiple times, okay? And it means example. Like literally, there's a verse that says God, using the word beat, daraba. Doesn't technically mean God is beating somebody. It means God is giving us examples, okay?
Of what? What did he beat?
There's a lot of verses like the signs of like whatever. Like a lot of verses.
He doesn't say he beat the signs or. He didn't say he beat the.
I'm not saying he beat anything. I'm just saying the same word that God uses, that he gave us the same verse, the same word that God uses. For example, the same word is used for the wife beating, and I do not believe that it means to beat the wife. It means to show your wife an example.
Yeah, no. So it says.
If you look at the word, it says it comes multiple times in the Quran, and there's one time people use it means beating. The entire time they say it means example. This one time it means beating. Does that make sense?
No, it's not true at all, man. Life, you done?
She been lied to, man. This is insane. I've actually feel sorry for her. You let somebody lie to you this much, this bad. Like, you know. If you want to believe that word doesn't mean what that word literally means, then it's up to you, man. At this point, it's up to you. You want to let people lie to you? You want to relearn Islam and be lied to? Then that's on you, man. I can't help you. I don't really waste my time with people that try to act like the word don't mean that no more, because then we just gonna waste.
I almost woke up somebody.
It's just gonna waste our time. That's what the word means. The word means strike. Doesn't mean give your wife an example. So.
The thing is, if you look at the word in Arabic and search that word in the Quran, you'll see it like a lot of times.
It doesn't mean that. It doesn't mean it. I'm not gonna waste my time with you. It doesn't mean it. So
here's the thing. I don't believe it means strike. The end of the conversation. Let's move on.
Great. So are you gonna just be up here saying, "Hey, give me more examples about why Islam is false"? Then when we give you examples, you say, "I don't believe the verse means that." Is that what you're gonna do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you. Appreciate it. I'll see you later.